I'm gonna read the minutes to you.
You know what one goes? Names. For end. I put the closed caption on. Okay.
You need one?
So, Isabel? Hi.
Miami.
Nice to have you.
Have you found one?
Maddie.
When you guys are ready, shouldn't have found Maddie. Spell check.
All right, we're gonna call the meeting to order at 5:47 PM. Julie, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, I can. John Roger. Okay. Vivian,
He sounds fine.
yeah, Vivian,
Here.
Julie here, Francisco. Karimad,
I'm here.
Jesse,
Just say.
just saying, I was gonna do Jesse, I know, but I felt like official, I had to say the full name. And Madeline,
Presente.
excellent, and would you like to just introduce yourself, so I can write it down on the minutes?
Sure, I'm Isabella Creighton. I'm the new committee liaison, so I think I met most of you, but
So we'll just spell your last name.
Creighton, CREIGHTON.
Perfect, okay.
And on top of the agenda, if you guys wanna branch out, finding.
Oh, well, come on.
Oh, I mean, for future reference, but yeah, just.
Wow.
Wow, her Gabby, let me make
Excuse
it
me.
known.
Welcome, Isabella.
Her Gabby, yeah, welcome to
She-
Isabella.
She is ready to help you all, and you guys are in great hands. I'm still here, I'm not going anywhere, just in a different
Are you
department.
sure?
All righty, take it away, Vivian.
So moving on, order of business, do we have any deferrals, additions, or deletions? I have. I move to, move item number 7A, which is a presentation. To the top of the agenda. So our guest doesn't have to wait for so long. We'll have a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Big one.
I got it.
Okay. And also, I would like to move to add Hope for Autism item in new business as 7C. We'll have a second.
A second.
All those in
Now you
favor?
look at that one.
Aye.
Just say that again, what are you adding to seven C?
Hope for
The Hope for Autism,
Autism
okay.
new item. Anybody else have any other changes to the agenda? Okay. All right. Okay, so public comments? No, because you guys wanna. You wanna just say your name for the records to show that you were here?
Yes, Kimberly Trellis. Trellis is spelled TRELLES.
Okay,
I'm just here to visit, support, and I do want to drop off a check for the Special Needs Advisory Board. It's small, don't get too excited. It's very small.
Oh, so. Next is gonna be, I guess we're ready for Christie's presentation.
Sorry, everybody waiting.
Oh, the
Long
approved
phone
minutes.
we started, so John's present,
Oh,
thank you.
Oh, what did you take it over?
You can-
Well, call to order at 5:47, I'm taking notes, just catching you up,
All right.
all right?
Okay,
We're
so
ready.
we're up to approval of minutes. There's no public comments. So
Okay.
if you wanna, we can do that.
Let's do it. Let's take a look at the minutes, folks.
And we moved 7A. item 7A to the top of the agenda, like right after approval of the minutes,
Makes sense.
and added a new Hope for Autism item as 7C.
You're all caught up.
Thank you. Um. There's something in here that makes me think we have to add something to this agenda. Does everyone like the minutes? Everything look okay to you guys? I don't see any problems with it. Unless you just saw something. What'd you see?
No, I'm just making notes.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
I motion to pass the minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. I'd like to go back real quick to agenda. I'd like to add 6E. The movie.
Yeah, I really have any updates.
We'll put it on there anyway, because we were looking at Saturday, December 14th, so we're gonna need to put the money towards this. If we have to just do a quick vote on it, so. Add it to there. Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right. Let's go to the BRI team that are here today to talk
Me,
to us.
myself. All right, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to present. I'm gonna hand out my bio so you guys know who I am and the proposal that I am going to provide. I've split it one side to the other. Yeah, that's it. Right, one toss it down. Agenda. Keep going, 'cause that's quick something. There we go. Not my bio, you didn't keep that. Oh, whatever. Oh, wait, when it comes back around, yeah. Thank you so much.
Do I need some help?
No, no, there should be 7, she told me to bring 7, but I made 8. Does anybody else need one? No? Yes, no, no.
I'll take one, I have an extra.
Thank you. Is that okay? All right, so hi, I'm Christy Carbonell from BRI ABA Services. I'm in a private practice, and I'm here to submit a proposal for an autism social group for adults with autism. I'm not new to the town of Miami Lakes. I lived here for many years, right behind here before they built all this stuff. And I have presented for the town of Miami Lakes a few times, so twice it was through the community and services to present a is your teen ready for college beyond academics, independent living skills 101. And then the other one was homework solutions for everyday life. And then during the pandemic, I presented for you guys. It was a different board back then. Yeah. So I only had 2 people that I recognized. I did online right during the lockdown, the pandemic, how to handle stress for parents with special needs. So I used to also work very closely at the Miami Lakes community, town of Miami Lakes, through CARD. I was a behavioral consultant for about 4 or 5 years, and I ran their social support group, social group for adults with autism. It was called Social Game Group for Adults with Autism to Interact and Network. So now I'm here in my capacity. I opened up my own business in 2016. And then in 2020, right before everything happened, I started my BRI e-learning academy, which was going to be for parents and that kind of stuff. So all that kind of stuff slowed down, as you know. So now I'm back out in the community. And I realized that in the town of Miami Lakes, what I used to do for CARD is no longer happening within the community. So that funding ended. It was a grant. So that's why it did not continue. They're continuing to do it, but it's a hybrid. And they don't meet here. They meet over like in Miramar and Broward County. So locally, there's not much here for the autism community. So my proposal is to provide, you guys can choose, but my idea was a lot of these individuals with autism after they graduate, as you guys know, all special needs, there's not much once you're an adult. You know, there's a lot of social skills groups that I found when I started doing my research, but there's not really like a social group for adults with autism just to, hang out, form friendships, that kind of stuff. Although this is not a social skills building group because I am a behavior analyst and my specialty is in independent living skills for all special needs, and I do specialize in autism. I've opened up, I helped Easter Seal South Florida start their autism programming many years ago, which is still running, and I got some children trust grants for all that kind of stuff to go. So for here, I thought it'd be great to have one in the community for the special needs advisory board to help fund and promote for those individuals that live here that may not have anything to do during the day. There's adult day programs and that kind of stuff. I don't know if there's actually that many. I think I kind of heard something about you having a program. So there's the community itself is starting to grow and that kind of stuff. So with this, it would infuse giving these individuals the opportunity to interact with others and form friendships. So when I run these social groups, even though it's not social skill groups, you still kind of have to sometimes teach these skills that they may not be practicing anymore because they're not hanging out with people very often, right? So I know there's like Hope for Autism, and there's a lot of things like once a month, that kind of thing, but on a regular basis, there isn't. So I'm proposing to do 4 social groups for adults with autism. 18 to 24 would be one group, and then 25 to 40 would be the other group. So that we would run 2 groups twice a month for those age groups.
On the last one.
Yes, and you'll see it on the back of the page.
Page 2.
So, yes, the location, I am in private practice, so it would be the town of Miami Lakes to provide a meeting space for us to meet bi-monthly, I guess, for each group.
Have you considered seeing if we could I'm sorry, let me rephrase this. Have you considered working with one of our area business owners, restaurants, or some type of restaurant facility where we could co-work together to have a space open specifically for them where they could provide the foods and such while you provide the services?
I haven't thought about that. The food is pretty much like snacks, but if you're looking at a social environment, a restaurant and stuff like that would make sense, right?
What environment were you thinking of? A community center?
I
space?
usually have done it like in a conference room, just like a conference room, like the places that I did when I did the town of Miami Lakes, one was at the school here, the other one was at the actual, where the park is, not the western one, the one here that's like.
Thought?
The youth center?
Yeah, the youth center, that's where, so places like that. If you're looking at infusing it into a natural environment where you would meet up, the only difficulty with that I see is the confidentiality. Having a group like that, if it's gonna be closed off and there's like a little area, but that would be the only thing that would red flag me a little bit.
We have seen we had a presentation earlier this year by a group that was wanting to come in and do they do monthly dating for
Nice.
adults on the spectrum. And they pick random locations across South Florida to go to, and then that place usually closes off for them. And they do that event one-on-one.
Yeah.
We have been talking with them about the possibility of having them come down and do one event hosted with us. And Manny Sid had offered the Mayor's Cafe as a venue to use for their donation of the space and food for us to cover the rest of it. So when we looked at that, I mean, that was an idea. I never came to fruition. I think they've just kind of focused on the areas where they've been best working. And they really haven't come back to see whether they want to do that or not. But an idea like this is, again, a social communication thing. I would think they might enjoy more to sit in an atmosphere where they're getting, or it feels like an atmosphere of social, than it's like into a conference room like this. Or in our case, we have a lot of community centers here, but they feel like a conference room because it's just a community center. It's folded up tables, whereas you have a real dining room table.
Yeah.
Something like that. So I didn't know if that was something that would work with your idea, that we could work as a team. Because the one thing we've learned since the pandemic and have worked really good at is starting to build partnerships with our local groups and trying to focus in on, we know what we can fund, what we can handle, and what other people are better at doing than us trying to do.
Right.
So that was an idea in there that I think if we were gonna do something like that, might be a good idea to try and research and look into. Is doing it at a facility where it feels like they're having a social environment, rather than not just being shoved into a room like this.
Right, right.
So what's the
And so the only population is the autistic
It's
population?
specific to autism, yes.
Yes, and so if any other young adult with special needs wanted to be a part of it, that's not something y'all would be open to?
I would be open to it, but this particular proposal would be for autism. I don't know how many of you guys have loved ones with special needs, how many have autism, just with the autism niche, meaning there are specific strategies and special considerations for someone who has autism, which would be a little bit different than somebody with Down syndrome or somebody with a physical disability. So that this one would be autism specific. If you wanted one for all, that's obviously I'm open to that, because right now I'm in my era of working with adults with special needs. Autism has been a focus for a while now, just I have a lot of families that I work with that have adults that have been diagnosed with autism, but I work with all special needs. And adults right now, it's my era of working with adults. Not a lot of people want to work with adults. Most of like the therapists and stuff, as I know you're opening up, it's for the little ones, which, we got to remember now, we got to catch up with our adults. The services for the little ones have gotten much better than they were back in the day. So those are it'll be two completely different, special needs open to all special needs, and then autism specific, which is the one that I'm proposing to.
I have a question that, so the adults, do they still get benefits of the ABA?
For through Med Waiver is the only ones, through the Med Waiver, you have to get on that wait list and.
Okay, so the ones that don't have to wait where they do not, and
That's
and then
where
they
the
don't.
difficulty is, yes.
That's what she's asking for our funding.
There is no funding. Everything goes for the little ones primarily for now, until we can catch up and remind them the little ones are gonna be adults.
Okay.
One of the things that we typically do, and we've seen this work very well for us, is when we start with a new program that we might be interested in creating, we usually go for 6 months. For 10 or for 12, we usually do 6 to see how the first 6 months turn out. Or sessions, we usually do sessions too, so it depends on the type of program. So that would put it at about, if you did a group of 4. With all this thing that you put it here, I would say
So I put the individual perk so that you could see I didn't know what
No, that
your
makes sense.
typical startups are.
Let's see, now, notice that you didn't have any of the supply costs here and here.
For the year, I figured about 100 per group, 4 groups, 400.
Okay. So you're looking at about,
The math guy over there doing it in his head. I'm like, give me the calculator.
my math is not there. 10 grand, about 10 grand for a 6-month program.
For a 10.
That's for
1 to
4
10
classes.
ratio is what I'm doing, yeah.
Now, if we were to provide that funding and we were to negotiate a space for you. And you're covering everything else that's in between? Is that how that works? Or am I hearing that correctly?
What do you mean by everything else in between?
You're doing all the therapy work with the.
I'll be the facilitator for the group, setting up whatever the activities are gonna be, all that kind of stuff.
Do you have any additional staff that are gonna work?
No, I'm private practice.
So you're the one for the 10?
Mm-hmm. Yes, they'd be getting a master's level BCBA.
And the group is, the maximum on the group?
1 to 10, no more
1 to
than 10. yeah.
Okay.
What would the minimum be?
To start, well, for it to be social, I would
Right,
say
but
at
you
least 5, like half of that.
Okay.
We don't need to make a decision on this.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
We're
it's,
getting details.
yeah, we're just trying to make the details. Usually,
Couple questions.
Do you have, a list of people that are already interested?
I don't have a list of people that are already interested.
Okay.
And it says provide 2 social media groups, so it'll be,
So it'll be 2 twice a bi-monthly.
One for 18 to 24 and one for 25 to 40. That's 2, and then twice a month, that's 2 more, 4 total.
So one of the difficult things about this is that we have to determine, because the one thing about us is we're a nonprofit, we're government controlled. So we have to make sure that if we want something like this from a private agency,
Mhm.
not a nonprofit, if you're a nonprofit, we can easily just say yes and go with it, but if I remember right, with a private agency, we have to also get other bids.
Is that what's happened with the karate and the dance and all those others?
Nonprofits,
Those karate and dance are both all nonprofits?
yeah, so as a government agency, we can easily.
No, I understand, I was
Yeah.
just confirming about the dance and the karate, that's nonprofit.
Yeah, they're all nonprofits. We've not worked with a for-profit yet because all of our funds are donations versus being tax dollar funds. I think that I remember hearing a conversation with Claricel like 4 or 5 years ago, where she had mentioned that there was sticky stuff to deal with when it comes to working with
For profit.
for-profit. You have to become an approved vendor with the town.
Yes, which is what I had to do when I did all the presentations
Exactly.
for the town of Miami Lakes, yes.
So is there?
So you're an approved vendor.
Well, you have to reapply. I mean, it's been,
Been a while.
it was kind of, yeah, 2020 was the last time I presented. We looked for this, yeah.
So how would that work?
Do we have to do a bid on a program like this because they're for profit, or if they're a town vendor, we don't have to go through that process?
We would have to come back to you
Okay,
because we've never.
When I did the two for, I don't remember what the department was, the two presentations that were in person. They actually reached out to me because I had put up some flyers when I had just started my private company. For, I'll be providing services, parent groups and all that kind of stuff, and they reached out to me, and there was no bid for that, and that was funded directly from the town of Miami Lakes. It had nothing to do with special needs.
if it's done through the council, it's different than it is for us. See,
Okay.
because we're separate entities, everything we do, we have to go present to the council as well to get their
Okay.
approval on. And then, like the council, we have to follow the laws and bylaws because we are a sunshine board, a governmental board. Even though our funding is purely donation based, we still have to account for whether, those rules and regulations that the state has. I don't know them off the top of my head, honest to God. But I do remember them saying that there was a little bit of a difference between for-profit and nonprofit when we did a partnership. If we were just going to pay for some event with you, right? For example, we were going to go to a building with you or have you come to one of our buildings to do a training, or we could pay you for a workshop. That's different. We can pay you directly for a workshop because we're providing a resource, information on a one-time basis. If this is an ongoing thing, that's where it has to go through Parks and Rec to be approved as a town vendor before we can even approve you a space.
Right.
Where it makes it a little bit easier if we were to negotiate with a restaurant like Mayor's Cafe, that takes the load off a little bit because then you don't have to be a town vendor. We could just do a partnership together where we support you into that. That's something we have to discuss as a board and see if everybody's on board with. So I tell you what, let us mull over this information, get back to you. Obviously the holidays are coming up, so it's gonna be a little tight, but we'll put it in there and we'll do a discussion on it, and see what we can do.
Okay, well, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Yes.
And where do you suggest, or how would you get the participants?
I still work closely with CARD. I do presentations for them, so they'd be one of my primary, getting the word out.
So CARD definitely has a list of people that are in Miami Lakes that are registered with them, so easily they can reach out to them without us,
I'm not gonna be able to serve all of the adults in the autism community, obviously a 1-to-10 ratio, to start up and see how it works out and that kind of stuff. As it grows and builds, then I could,
Yes.
add more stuff if it works out and we have enough. And when I used to run and it was in this manner, like I said, we were in the conference room here, the Miami Lakes CARD office, which is where I was stationed with them. So we would, run it here, but I think at one point, we started going to all of your little different areas that they would host us. But I love the idea of partnering and doing it in an actual social place where you would meet with people, right? That's the generalization of behaviors, which is optimum.
And is the plan to do it like in the morning, afternoon?
So that was my thing. So what I'm gonna do is one during the daytime and then one like after school hours, because I'm hitting the age group up to 21, 22, or they turn 22 during the school year, you know, so that I could have the ones that are home doing nothing during the day, be able to do that, and then one after.
And transportation?
That'd be provided by them. Yeah, that's not on the post. Everything that I'm asking for is right there. And then, transportation is not, we didn't provide it for through card either.
Great.
Can I ask for?
No, you can't, no, sorry.
So can you give me an example, one day?
So it
How
depends
many-
what we would do,
What do you?
what
work
do you
on?
do with
What
them?
do you
Well,
do
it's a
with them?
social, remember, it's like social meetup group.
Yeah.
So, you know, like the dating thing that you guys discussed with that other agency, that kind of stuff. You're gonna come in, there'll be, depending on the month, what it is, if it's whatever holiday may or may not be, or whatever's being celebrated, might be the topic. And you'll have like game night, board game night, or it might be movie night, or it might be let's create something night, so that it could start up a conversation with them, so that they can start, you know, interacting. We'll talk about, okay, any ideas that anybody has, where do you want to meet next week, kind of thing. What do you want to do next week, next month, or whatever it might be. So it'll be led by them also, because you have to see what the group of the individuals that are coming in, what they want to do, right? So it's not going to be a class where I'm teaching, because it's not a social skills group. It's going to be an immersion of trying to build friendships, be able to hang out with them outside of whatever the social group is. You know, you have activities. I mean, I remember one of my favorite ones was playing with them. That was fun too. What's that called? It's kind of like Jeopardy, but
Gestures.
yeah. So there was like name five things that are blah blah, and then they're all and then you have to work in teams, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's, you want to make it fun, so they want to come, and they're doing something productive while engaging in these social skills that they may not have a lot of opportunity, you know, to engage in.
Do they have to be verbal?
To a mode of communication. Verbal, I mean, when you're talking about language, I mean, if they have sign, or they have an iPad, or they have a phone communication device. And it's a great question. I actually, when I was doing it for card, we had one nonverbal individual, and perfectly fine. Mhm.
Is it ever an inclusion program where you have perhaps role models in there?
Having peer mediated, that would be beautiful. It's not part of this one, but I like that.
Any other questions, guys? All right. Well, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
guys. I'm not like her giving money, I'm the opposite. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good rest of your evening. Bye.
All right, very good. Well, we'll take it home, read through it, guys, and next meeting we'll discuss some ideas on it and see where we go. All right,
Can we also find out what the deal is if we have to get other?
Yeah. I'm sure I'll send you a note. I'll send you a note. Do this to me. You're supposed to stay here forever now. She's like, oh God, this guy's crazy. Okay, all right, so that takes care of BRI, so that's checked off. So then moving on back to old business and the special needs updates. Safety program updates.
Hello,
Yeah. Hello, Officer Amador.
so we haven't had any more registrants. On October 19th, I was a part of the Mental Health Awareness Fall Festival that the Mental Health Committee put together. Very good event, tons of vendors, 26, 27 vendors. They had food trucks. We can talk about like the layout, because I thought it was something good for if the committee wants to do something like that, it's something that can be mimicked easily. I was there all day giving out flyers and talking to people about the special needs aspect and our program. And I gave out a bunch of paperwork. So again, I think it's a really good event. It was a really good event. My estimate is about 300 people were there.
Good.
Yeah, about 300 people. And
Real good turnout.
That's a really,
Yeah.
they had a lot of, they had a ton of vendors, and each vendor promoted it separately.
so they probably had a lot of people from out of town coming in.
Well, all the people that I spoke to were not from the town. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
So I
That's
refer
what
a
I
lot of
thought.
people to a lot of different places.
That's the problem when you do an event like that. I think we're gonna see that this weekend with UM Card, and they're already at 200, so.
250.
Now 215? Don't tell the town. So, that's good. Okay, well, then we'll just have to keep finding a way to promote the safety program, you know. And we need to do another workshop on it, or do something. Oh, does, we're gonna get to that more, the Festival of Lights in a little bit, but do you remember, does the Festival of Lights, do they hand out baggies or anything to the top people when they're in the front, or do they pass out goodies or anything like that?
Can I mention something about that program? I went on and I was ready to go ahead and sign my family up, because you told me about the fire as well, it was one of my bigger fears. And I'm all about all the services that are available to her, but I was really hesitant to like, I have it printed out. It's there, but there's just so much personal information on there. I know it's coming to you, and then you're gonna input everything, you know, into the computer. I got almost to the end, I'm like, I just don't know if I want to put all this information in. Although it's gonna be great, I could see how another family might think the same. I mean, there's a lot of private information on there, and I understand why there would be. But I can also see that being a deterrent from people wanting to participate. So I don't know, somewhat of an awareness or.
What I've told people directly is you put as much information as you want, but the minimum is a name and an address and a condition.
So on the application, you've said that, but if I just scanned it and went to sign up, I'm like, oh man, it's a lot. So if it doesn't say it at the top, maybe you would consider adding it at the top. At least
Maybe like an
a
asterisk,
minimal.
an asterisk on the minimum.
At minimal, if you're interested, give us this information and you can add later if you're feeling more comfortable, add later, give us a call if you want to add or update. Cause I would gladly just give you that information, but to have to do all of it, I was like, wow. And then what if something changed? And I was like, well, now I gotta contact them because something changed. Cause there's a lot of personal information, medical information. Just
And you know, like the medical information is not for fire. Because, you know, if it's there and
EMS, no, I understand, like every question was valid, like I understand how. And the purpose of the preparation of the form. Have any of you tried to fill it out?
I did it.
You did as well. But do you understand how I felt
I
about?
filled it out and I felt exactly the same way. I still turned it in,
They did.
but I still was like, man, it's like, what if like the information, you know, cause we live in the age where information gets leaked, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not that I keep my son's disability, you know, a secret, but I just don't want anybody who gets that information, like, I'm not posting on Facebook, oh, my child has this, and this is what works if you were to try to calm him down. I was like, man, that is a lot of information.
So my application is
But,
in an
yeah.
envelope, and I'm like, I could just bring it to him and then just have a chat with him and see if you have to put everything, but maybe. No, you know, I'm not the only one who feels like.
I got an idea that'll make that, both of your ideas work. What if we simplify it? What if you have the base application with basic information that's needed? The person's able to fill that out and submit it, and then after they've submitted it, you can come do your visit with an additional application for further details.
You visit?
I didn't get.
Everyone,
You didn't get a visit?
when did you?
Last year, this year?
She said she didn't get a visit either.
Well,
It's a
actually,
different-
ours was
Was it
different,
after
ours
the
was
last-
different.
Okay.
Ours was better.
It was the one where there were chicken nuggets.
Yeah,
There was
after the
chicken
last workshop.
You're not the person that told me to not show up and. Oh, well,
You'll have to chat.
because
afterwards.
I had a few that were like, no, you know, don't come by, no, you know, I just wanted the information, I don't need the stickers or anything, and that's.
We're in front of law enforcement now, we're gonna say.
Well,
I want-
Okay, we'll talk quickly.
I wanted to say something, regarding the application, and I understand what you mean, because even when I was filling it out too, I was like, but at the same time, I mean, information, it's true, you know, anything can happen. But a lot of the information we do already put it out there, believe it or not, whether on purpose or by mistake. Oh, we're celebrating his 3rd birthday. So there's a lot of information already out there. And while I see what you're saying, like, oh, this is, you know, if he does this. depending, I think, on the age too, like your son is still small, but when it comes to an adult, if you think about it, okay, if he hears the sirens, he might run off.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, wait, if we see someone run out of the house, they're not trying to escape, it's this person. So
Yeah.
I guess it also depends on the age. And like you said, it is optional. And I thought it
I like
said
the
somewhere that it was
I
optional.
like the idea, I don't think it says optional. A
I
couple parts, I don't think it says, but I didn't realize that second part, because of the interview part, because I never got that far, just an idea, but now that I know that there's that second part, I may just.
But
give
this is the
basic
thing,
information.
the second part is after everything's been processed. So it's not beforehand, but if we talked before and, which is what I told people, hey, what are their questions? When you turn it in, what are your questions? Or if people have turned it in and they've put on there, please call me. And so I've talked to them, okay, what's going on? Okay, just bye bye, ABC, bye bye, and then we'll process the.
But what you're
I like
saying,
it, I
think
like
it's
to have
good
more,
too.
more members, every time I write it down,
Yeah.
now this month you say no new members. No, participants, I want us to increase the participation, 'cause I think it's a fabulous program, but I wanna be a part of, of suggesting ideas that would increase that participation. I wanna participate, let's put it that way. I feel like I can participate and I can share that information. I said, well, I did it and here's how it worked for me. So give him a call, just give the basics, fill him in later on the rest, and then you can do your little notes and say, are we clear on this? This is where we are, and then. I mean, it's a big ask, but I.
It's
I
good
think it's-
because you have something that you found that kind of hindered you.
And
So now we
yeah.
gotta address that because if it happened to you, then how many other people is happening to?
And I'm free to share my story. We all know, I'm all out there, everyone knows, but I don't know, for some reason, that whole form just felt really official to me and I was like,
And the big thing about it is, DeSantis signed off, recently that, if there's a public records request, it's all redacted. So before, if there was a public records request, it would just be the request and there would have to be information. But now it's all redacted. So basically they're getting the form with nothing, with everything scratched out.
What is that? Like if.
You know how they highlight in black?
Yeah, no, I know
Official-
what they mean by redacted. I just don't know what it means, like, if who asks for it?
So I'm the custodial of the information.
Okay.
If somebody asks for, I'm a public official, somebody asks for a public records request, we have to divulge all the information that we have.
Freedom of Information Act.
Include your information of your,
My son's condition.
everything, but after DeSantis signed it off, because a lot of people had that same concern,
Okay.
that now we redact. And what they're gonna get is a form that has a bunch of black things on it.
And basically it's
You
not,
listen
they're getting
for-
nothing.
Yeah, it's not, they're not getting anything.
They may just know that you tried to register and you
Yeah.
registered, but they won't know anything first.
Exactly.
That's also good to know, but who knows that?
So who has the information
Exactly.
is I have the paper you gave me, I have it,
Yeah.
and the information that was given to this body, and that's it. Nobody else will have the information besides that, and if they do the public record request, they're always gonna get.
Maybe time for another informational word.
Yeah.
Or spread the news, or I'll register, speak to you so I can spread the word, that way I've done it and I can share.
Okay,
But I've done it.
so I think we can definitely talk about this some more later. We gotta move on with our timing. But we need to probably do another conversation about the program, specifically length of the program, your visits. And the next safety shop that we need to do, safety workshop to do on it, because maybe we need to do some more stuff too. Maybe we need to do another interview with the Magna Laker or a podcast of some kind with Officer Amador to talk a little bit about it again. So that we can reach people, because they're just, I think at this point, it's people don't know it's there.
But I think what they're saying is also very key because for some people, when they look at it, it might be like, ooh,
It's daunting. That's why I haven't
yeah.
done it yet.
So I think it's
I
a
keep doing
matter
it and
of,
then putting it
letting
down.
people know, okay, this is the information that would be shared and please know it's optional, so.
If
I
I've,
think
if
that
I've
makes
done it and I can then tell you, if I haven't done it, how am I gonna tell you to do it? I don't know.
I think that's a good idea to think about reformatting the actual application, so that it's a brief application to start. And when you come do your official visit, then you can ask them the questions and fill out the rest of the form to their liking. And that way you have 2 touch points.
I would say another thing is, the application, let's say is 3 or 4 pages long. Let's put the necessary things on the first page, and then everything else, listen, this is, the more, we ask the more information, the better, because, right, the more information we have, the better. But this is actually optional, and if you don't wanna do anything with it, no, you know, you're done with that first page. Because I think that way, the person, when they see it, because I give a lot of applications out, and I don't see them come back. So something's happening, like what, saying. You know?
And just for information on the special needs advisory board.
When's the next safety?
Same, so.
Don't you guys do a safety fair in January? Last year it was in January.
Is-
workshop.
Workshop, yeah, we usually do a workshop in January, so in December, we'll probably plan for that again, in town hall.
But I think if, also like on the flyer, if we can put on the flyer, the, what's it called, there's a, yeah, there's an official political number that they give it that is for redacting the information, I remember what that's
Just
called.
to two.
The statute, this is the statute number, and it's gonna go under this, there's an official verbiage that they use for that. That pretty much people understand, if they don't understand, but again, if they don't understand. I always explain it, and every time I go somewhere, like anybody I talk to, and they actually wanna talk about it, I tell them all that too, listen, it'll be redacted, so your information is safe and all that.
Okay. Well, let's table it and we'll come back to it, next meeting and try to spend some more time on
Thank
what we can do to make it better. All right, before we get to you and Karen, I wanna open up public comments again. Do I have a second for that? All those in favor?
I,
Right. I'll open up public comments so that you can actually present us with this amazing check.
Hi. So I'm gonna wait on the check till I speak to Joseph because I wanna make sure. I give it to the right bucket, whether it's the committee bucket, right? Or the mayor's gala bucket. Cause I don't know if the money, was counted towards that check yet. Towards the 44th, like, I don't know if my money was already included in the 44,000.
I don't know. That would be a Joseph
That would
question.
be a Joseph question, and I was just texting him today, but not about that. So I could text him tomorrow. And I could text him now, but I'll feel that it's late.
That's all right.
And then I have to come back tomorrow anyways. I'm gonna be back in the building tomorrow. So I have my checkbook today, but yeah, I have my checkbook today. But I'm glad that you did open up public comment again, because I did forget to mention that I wanted on the record that I would like to be considered when a spot opens up for the special needs advisory board.
Hold on.
Right there.
We need your signature. We need your signature.
Oh, you need my signature. No, right.
you need to apply
Yeah, you should
You need to apply.
with, the.
and they'll keep your application on file.
Oh, I thought I couldn't apply until, see how much I think I brought it?
You can apply right now, or as soon as you get home. You just have to submit everything to.
It's online.
It's online?
It's digital.
It is?
Oh, wow.
I mean, to make it easier.
I'm getting old. I see it.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at my brief.
So go online, submit it, and then send an email to,
That would be Gina, but you
Gina.
can email Isabella.
Okay.
or Isabel. Get her an email before you leave.
Oh,
That way you can let her know, because I think we're gonna have a seat coming up like soon,
Okay,
so.
yeah, that's why I really
See,
wanted to
that's it.
come today, and you know I always support you guys, so.
That.
Thank
definitely.
you.
All right,
Got it. It's on the
well,
record.
thank you. Let us know about that check. We always love checks here.
I did want to mention something, sorry that I'm going back to the application.
Well, hold on, I gotta close public comments. Like, I'm motion to close public comments.
I second.
All those in favor? Fine.
Not in a second. Okay, so on the first page, it's underlined and it's bold. It says a special needs safety program is completely voluntary. None of the information requested on this form is mandatory. So it does, I remember having seen something, but I wasn't sure. And I didn't wanna just go off of memory. So it does have it, it's on the first page, and I'm sure that there's more information, I did wanna point that out, so.
Maybe I know that sometimes they'll put like an asterisk on what you have, then maybe asterisk on the
Required.
name, the address.
Oh,
And,
yes, and then like the
person's
rest is
name,
optional. I
and
get
then
it.
that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything with an
That is
asterisk is
true.
required.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%
yes.
required, everything else is up to you. It's
I'll just
optional.
make my own asterisk.
I would love to know how to
I
find
know
that
it's me.
application.
No, but that's great. That's a great idea. Adding, like,
It's-
That's for another time.
What do I need to find?
All right, so you have a card.
You have fine. Did you guys both see my email today? So can you tell me what we need to do? Is there anything we need to do? Did we need to fill out the paperwork? Do I need to?
Yeah.
There we go.
We need this or that request form filled out.
That's what we were discussing. We weren't sure if it had been filled out or not.
Sounds good.
But we jumped around dates so much we forgot if it had been done or not. Did Ivan tell you if they needed anything specifically from this that we need to fill out?
I haven't heard from Ivan until you sent that. email.
What about the one that he sent previously?
He didn't ask for anything. He was just checking on like the certificates of insurance.
Okay, so he's been.
So
he's been
everything
talking
like
to them.
from, I think like late September. But,
Right, good.
and of course I go fire, but that's it.
So then everything besides this one piece is in place, and do we have permission from the Grams for the parking lot? That's good.
Sure.
All right,
Like,
well then I'll just fill this out, and so that we're done with that, we can move on to Festival of Lights.
Hold on. Go on, Gabby, you're first.
Okay, so I was discussing this with Ivana, so. This is something that I think I might have mentioned it in one of the previous events. When you request tablecloths, if they need to be dry cleaned, then we need to, or the committee needs to pay for that dry cleaning. For this event, because you also will have food. I'm not sure if you all want to just buy, like the plastic ones instead. I mean,
Oh,
you
our
have
own,
funding, but so you don't have to spend on that expense.
do you want, we buy our own?
And not your, like, with the committee. Like the same way that. you
Disposable.
guys-
I know, but you, either like, she orders off of Amazon or. goes to
Well,
Target
yes,
and
that
they-
you, well,
We don't have that. We have to order the food. So we go to Publix and add it to the order of the food, the tablecloth.
yes, if they have them at Publix, that's not on Amazon.
I think Publix should have what we're looking for.
Yeah.
They've got enough selection.
Cause we got 2 days.
Hold on, hold on,
Vivian.
Vivian wants to talk.
Go.
I already have it on my Amazon cart. It'll arrive here on Friday, the tablecloth. Cause I was gonna order the round ones, cause we're getting some round tables. So I can just they have rectangular ones and we'll get them all. Some of them can even get here tomorrow. So. I just wanted to make sure that we have enough money, which, according to the minutes, we have $650 to spend on this event, correct?
But that includes the
We can increase it,
magician.
we can increase it.
That was my comment. So in the proposal that we received from Ivan, it was a total, the whole event. Of course, this is not your expense completely. It was about 5,600 and something. The magician was 500, I think.
And that's included in what he sent you or separate?
In the proposal, no, that's part of the proposal.
And we're paying for the magician.
That's what.
That's what you guys did.
discussed.
The magic show cookies and other.
We agreed to play for the magician, the magician, the cookies, and any additional expense over the 5 grants that they have.
Okay.
So we could increase our budget for this and we still wouldn't use it all. I don't mind putting it at 5,000, 1,500, 2,000, whatever you want. To cover the remaining balances and then it just defers back to whatever we actually spend.
I wanted to get. I need to get some an additional to get the tablecloths. And I was gonna get some little decorations to put on the tables, like the ones that I get.
For the event, yeah.
Animation event,
Okay.
that are those paper ones, to put them, like there's fall ones. So,
Okay, and plus we're gonna need to pay here for janitorial services and handyman services is now $85 an hour.
I don't know, but don't need handyman services.
Okay,
We already handed it.
it says room setup and breakdown. So are they gonna set all the tables up or are we gonna set up the tables?
So that's also something to mention. So the dance class is according to online, I'm not sure because you guys know. But from 11 to 1. This event, we have it from, it starts at 2, but we have 1 hour for setup. So there's a possibility because of that, that the tables will be in storage. So this is like the main entrance of Mary Collins, the storage is on this wall, on the side. So you all would have to set up, because
We would have to set up?
But if I check this here,
When you say we, like us, the board, or you mean we as in the town?
We as the board, because the
Yeah.
dance is there till 1 o'clock.
but if we,
That gives us an hour to set up, or whoever is set up.
But that's what I'm saying, like, we wouldn't be able to have someone set it up for us?
That's handyman services.
As
what we're talking
in,
about. Who's that?
the town,
that 1 hour,
Mhm.
that's not how they do it. They don't book it by hours. They book it by whenever they do
mean-
it.
you haven't done that, like when we have the events here, we don't do that.
How does it work when we do it here?
I don't know if it's because it's.
They just do it. It
Well,
just
when we do it
happens.
here, when we do it here, at the end, there's a setup, and then you draw what you
Yes,
want,
yes,
and then you that,
Yes, which is the same thing that you guys did for the animation class last week,
right?
but
Right,
I'm not sure, yes.
when we've had the resource fair at Mary Collins before, they set the tables up for us. We
Right, but
send a
that's-
Diagram. and-
But that's not like, there's a class and you have 45 minutes, you gotta set up.
How many tables are we
I
talking?
mean, it's only a few tables.
No, it's
We
9 and
can do
6.
it.
We can do it.
Nine
That's
and
not a
6.
problem, but there's
9
usually,
rectangular, 6
Oh.
round.
there's usually a person
Oh, I don't
there,
know, I have a limit.
We
a
have a
custodial person there.
janitorial person there.
And they get us the tables, we help them, but they get the tables out of the storage.
So-
and they-
That was where I was gonna come in. So for the mental health event, we kind of had a similar situation with the difference that it wasn't inside Mary Collins, it was outside. So we had to get the tables and put them out in the field.
Like literally, you physically carried them out there. and
Yes,
set them up.
until someone showed up with a truck.
So in this room right now, who is planning to be there on the night at 1 o'clock to help set up?
I'll be there.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4.
I can be there, but I just can't
No,
lift.
you cannot, and I understand that. That's why I'm asking. So there's 4 of us, if we're all on time and no other like last minute cancellations or delays. And then Francisco. So between us 4, we're gonna go set up 9 tables and, or 9 and how many tables and
9,
chairs?
9.
In 1 hour?
6 round table.
Cover them up, put decorations, get food, all of that in 1 hour?
I can do the food.
Yeah, she's gonna. do it.
Okay,
Table set up and putting the cloths on it and then sticking
Yeah,
it,
that's
that
nothing.
should
We
take
can
us a
do it.
half an hour
We can do it.
max.
The
And-
thing is somebody gonna be there to give us access to the tables? I don't-
That's, yes, that's what I was getting at. So we do have janitorial there from maybe like around like 7 AM until later.
But
in the
that's a lady
afternoon.
or a
Well,
man?
I'm checking for them
I
to be there.
believe in the morning it's a lady. And in the afternoon it's a.
I'm checking
But
for
the
them to
lady
be
set
there.
up the table.
Janitorial will
She
be-
does
yeah,
help.
and that's already
I
happening.
know,
I know, I
So
don't-
how
I know
many-
they-
I know you're
as
talking.
part of
She
our
helped.
rate
She
and
knows
time.
Oh, I don't-
She was
We're
there.
gonna help on the
Just-
deny
yeah,
it,
yes,
but I
and
mean,
was there for
I'll
everything.
speak to the
She'll
mentor.
help us. She's very nice.
Um,
And we left her food, remember at the end for the animation project?
Oh, okay,
You know what
yeah.
I'm talking about? She'll help us. And it's
Yeah.
Saturday, maybe they have. one
Like,
extra
my thing
person.
is, I don't wanna get there and then.
And then start trying to
the-
find out
the
how to
thing is
unlock it.
locked, You know, the
No,
closet
so
is locked.
janitorial
We
will
don't
be
have
there.
access to the tables.
I'll call them. We'll call them ahead of time. It's in Spanish, so we'll call them ahead of time, and let them know that you all will be needing them to open the storage. You would just have to go. Maybe you'll go with them, of course.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there since 12, cause my son goes to the dance class from 12 to 1. So I'm gonna
Scoop
be
it up.
there
Scoop it up.
earlier and I'll start, and I think the dance class is only gonna use half the room.
Yeah,
So we
maybe
can
you
actually
could-
build the tables and start
On the
setting
other
up
half.
on the other
Okay.
half, and we'll have that out of the way. And my husband will be there so he can help me, so.
So that's it. You would just have to go
Yeah,
and tell janitorial here, there's things in storage and that's it.
Okay. Anything?
How
else
many
on that?
tables are we using, John?
Vivian requested 9 rectangular and 6 round.
So 15 tables are all in good condition or something?
We already spoke to, we didn't confirm the number because we wanted to confirm.
Right.
Everything on that, that's
50
needed.
chairs.
50 chairs,
Mhm.
9 rectangles, 6 round.
Cause I know there's some of them that are broken tables.
We'll piece through those.
And the way we're doing this is rooms A and B are open and we're setting the tables up like the fair. And with the idea that they're gonna be a small like stage by this side over here where they're gonna do the performances. And this side over here, this little room in the front is gonna be a sensory room with lights off and our toys in there, right? That's what we agreed on? You're still good at that?
I don't know about
mean-
that.
I mean, about dark room toys.
I didn't discuss that with Ivan about having a sensory, no, he wants most of it to be outside,
Yeah,
because they're getting the bounce house
That's fine, with me, I don't care.
To use
This
the
is easier
park.
on us.
and, and the DJ's gonna be outside.
It did
Uh,
sound like it was much of an indoor event.
You want,
Does he want the
Yeah.
tables outside too?
no,
Those
he
are
wants
inside.
the vendors inside, the few
Oh,
vendors
these
that they're
tables are for
having.
vendors. We're not
They're
setting tables up.
rectangular.
What about the tables for people to sit and eat?
The
Around.
round table.
All right, so, okay, it makes sense then. So then we just need the table, I put down tables, you're buying the tablecloths, right? We don't need anything else other than microphones and audio for the inside for them to do talking, right?
podium.
That included with the microphones or audio? Podium, I see it there, okay. Okay,
Now we need to pay for that, so we need to make a motion to pay for that, or is that part of the agreement?
so microphone, audio and podium is free.
Because it's at 650 right now.
Yeah, that's what I was
And
thinking.
500 is with match.
The microphone, audio and podium is free, but we have to pay
Yeah,
the
so-
janitor,
Yeah, so it will go over
Yeah,
the-
towards $17.
it says 15.
That is incorrect. It was
Inflation.
it was recently updated, yeah,
So
Everything.
it's 17 times 4 then, right?
I can tell you.
Yeah, give me that total so I can know. And then Vivian, would you mind drawing the design?
17 times 4?
Yeah.
That's 68.
Mhm.
68.
Would you mind drawing the design?
Are you making a motion, John?
Not yet. I've gotten that far yet. I'm trying to think in my head here, so we have 650 is what we agreed on, right? We're gonna need 68, we're gonna probably need 100, how much was your total on Amazon?
Plus she needs the fall decorations. Vivian, who wants to know your
Well,
Amazon?
now I have to add the rectangular. I would say let,
It doesn't go over.
I would say to make a motion for an additional $300 for decorations, which will include tablecloths, the little centerpieces. Just to be safe,
It's 300, you said?
yeah.
So we have 300, we have 68, so we're basically at 4.
Do a flat 500.
Any
Let's
other-
do a flat 500, because we also need to increase a little bit for the cookies, because now we know that there's more people coming, we should probably get another cookie box.
Okay.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Let's leave the 651 intact. And let's make a second motion for $500 for additional decorations and such for the event. Coming out of recreation,
Social recreational line item.
social recreation.
And second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Aye.
passes.
oh no, so you can.
I got you.
There you go. And she's
Put in
taking
your-
care of that, rest of that right. Is there anything else missing on that?
So going through your email. We already told Ivan, and I believe he filled everything out, but, for the barbecue cooking. And any other vendor, they have to have the certificate of insurance and have the town with this town hall address as an additional insured.
Which you guys talked about. I saw the email. So he knows that, so they should already be that way. in the worst case scenario, if that doesn't work out, we can figure something out. But I'm pretty sure he's already done that since you guys were discussing that level before we started talking.
And, we can't guarantee the bounce house on the lawn. That was a request that we just received today, so we passed it with Parks. So we're waiting on that. That was this afternoon, and then for same thing with the cooking. But that shouldn't be, an issue, as long as you have the certificate.
As far as I know, that was what they were gonna be doing, so. I think they just intended on putting it somewhere because that was the space they were being given. I don't think they ever thought about where to put it and not where to put it. But,
No, I'm just checking.
If anything, because you all have, no, because the pavilions are already booked, just try to stay away as much as you can from the pavilions.
so my thought was, and I told Ivan, which I'll tell him again in case he
That's
forgets,
50.
was to utilize this area back here where there's none of the pavilions, or that shaded area from there to here, because I think there's a pavilion right here. Is there, this is the bathrooms, and then there's the pavilion down the road that way. I had thought we could put it either behind the building behind Mary Collins or here by the playground. But my thought was over here would make more sense because you could have the bounce house back here and games back here, and then you're cooking right here, and then people are eating inside here.
200.
Am I thinking logically?
250.
We have pavilions on.
Large ones, like
This is 82nd Avenue.
Okay.
This is more towards like the CVS, Starbucks, gas station, that way.
Okay.
So Mary Collins is here,
Mhm.
this is Mary Collins. You have pavilions over there.
Behind the building? Or,
Well, this is the entrance to Mary Collins,
yes,
the parking lot's right here,
yes.
okay. Pavilions are more that way.
Okay, yeah, I'm
So
talking.
the basketball
behind-
court.
I'm talking about behind it. So I was thinking we put the stuff behind it, because there's this huge area of where there's a lot of shade, which is great. And it's not really used because it usually floods, so as long as it stays dry, which it may be, we could be able to use that. If not, then it'd have to go, this being Mary Collins, this being the parking lot. If the idea is here, if it can't be here, it could be here under the trees next to this, to the playground. Because that area is all open too, right? Because I know there's this
As
pavilion
long
here.
as, because that's a private event going on and we don't want to interfere with everything.
Okay, all right, cool. So I'll make sure he knows that. All right, cool. Do I need to sign this or is that it? Yeah. I do. Is that all with this event? Are we all good after this? Let's go ahead and move on to Festival of Lights.
96 now.
I know you guys have saw the, I saw you, Vivian and I finally got a hold and talked to, thanks to one of the town members, I can't remember his name. Talked with Andrea, and it looks like we're able to get, the folks from Arts for Autism on the stage.
Nice.
So they're all set, and Andrea is working directly with them now, so programming's on their end, we're all good.
Do they have a time that they'll be performing? or
I
no?
don't think
Or
they've gotten
no?
that far yet.
Okay.
Do I put to the actual event time or the time that we start setting up?
Just put 2 to 4 and then.
And,
Is there anything else with the Festival of Lights? Can you? No, I'll find out. Sorry.
No, you're good. Is it related to this event?
No.
Okay, that's.
So
Well, I mean,
that's.
it was, I still pass it on, but yes.
It is. Do I have to put in a bid budget because it's part of their budget, part of our budget?
The arts for autism. It's already in the minutes.
14. Go ahead. 40.
At the main stage.
Okay, alright, so good. Here, that. Just a quick recap on the animation event for those who weren't there, but I think everybody was there, but it was cool. It was really cool. Here's what we learned. They are absolutely so happy with this program. They really want to expand it more. They've already worked on beginning to renew their, you guys talk, it's okay. They've already begun to work on a renew. I know what you're doing. It's important.
No, we didn't.
They've already begun renewing their grants for the next one. And I had been talking with Catherine while we were there before we got started about the fact that obviously we've raised enough money now that we can actually start investing a little bit more into this. What she would like for us to do, if we could possibly have a meeting with them, I think they might want to come in and talk, is help them buy some laptops and expand it from 12 to 15. Because they're currently at 12, because I think they're out of laptops. They also want to do 2 classes, another beginner's class, and move up the class that they've had now into an intermediate, so they can keep growing and keep doing this. That's phase 1 of what they would like to do. So that would mean that they would continue the program, but not just continue it, but expand it. And they're also looking at adding a little bit more time to the time as well. Instead of going for a solid hour, maybe we go for 2, an hour and a half.
They're already 2 hours.
Oh, they, so,
I think what they
The
want
expanding
is
is
to,
the
yeah,
time,
how many weeks
exactly.
they do it.
oh, you mean that,
Number of
that
meets,
time,
number
okay.
of times they meet, yeah.
So meet more.
Yeah.
The first class was
For
10, the
another
second
period of
class was
time.
9.
Okay, so that was the discussion that they had there. The kids, the adults, I call them kids, but they're kids to me. I'm still a kid. They did such a great job. I don't know if you, I don't know if we recorded this one like we did last year, but if we did, it'd be great to release some of that video on the town. I think Manny.
He was gonna send it to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Manny had mentioned that he would like to have it, well, I know he's not mayor anymore, but he would like to have the town share the whole experience and what they created so that people can see what we've been working on. So I'm completely in favor with this because I think this is I think this is going to grow and not maybe get bigger than even Arts for Autism is. It is amazing what these kids are doing. Now, the other discussion that we had, and I talked with Brenna about it, the class director, is what can we do next for the intermediate class? And the idea was to see if we could talk with Miami-Dade College and their magic program, which is their animation program, which she runs or helps co-run, about doing some kind of a partial scholarship or something that one of the people in the group, when they reach a certain level and that they can have a competition, could be eligible to get into the program as a special needs individual in magic. This is a long-term goal. It is way out there, but I think that would be absolutely amazing because that would be something that we wouldn't just fund from the board. We need to find some grant people, and we happen to have a couple. One specifically is a Miami Laker who owns property in Miami Lake, Mr. Lyle Dunn, who has been wanting to invest into the special needs community, and I think this would be a great chance for us to actually build a donation fund so that one of our Miami Lakers who's gone through the animation program, thanks to the help that we put together, would have a chance at getting a scholarship to go into magic and actually do this professionally. That would be a story. That would be an amazing story. And that would be, I think, something that would prove that what we've been working on is actually really making an impact on this town. So it's a board decision. It's not my decision. But that was what we discussed and what I wanted everyone to know about, because I thought we need to sit down and discuss what we can do next for them. Early on, the easiest thing to do is find out what they need. Electronics wise, get it and add that second class. And I think we can fully fund that. maybe at least the computers. I don't know about the second class, because the second class is probably gonna mean that we're gonna have to put up a whole heck of a lot more money, because their grant funding is for one. I don't know if they're gonna be able to expand it for two. So we need to have a discussion with them. So I think the best thing we could do is wait till after the holidays and have them come in to make January, February board meeting and hash out what we can actually do. Nobody cool with that?
Sounds.
Any input, any thoughts? Okay, all right, cool. So that's the animation. We'll move on from that. You had another one in there. Oh, that was me. Okay, it was the movies. I forgot to write it down.
60.
And we already voted on the date. It's in the minutes.
We did?
December 14th.
It's H.
Okay, so December 14th is our date. Okay, good.
What hasn't been discussed is the money for it.
So what we need to do now is reach out to Mr. Richard. That was me, Mr. Richard.
Henry Charles
Paris.
Harris.
Mr. Harris. I was close.
Henry was
I knew it was Mr.
Henry was close.
Harris. Okay, Mr. Harris. Yeah. Well, we gotta reach out to Mr. Well, you
I
had
already reached out to him and he just takes forever to answer.
so what did we spend on the last one? You don't remember?
Come on, off the top of your head.
I think it's like 600 for tickets. Or is that too much?
Yeah.
When was the last
Something like that because there was, I think they charged us like 670, 650 or 675.
Do you remember the day we had it?
Was it April? No, it was summertime, so it would have been
It
June.
was like June.
It was June.
I don't think I had
It wasn't July, it was June. It was in June. Do we have minutes from June? No, we probably don't, because that was well, actually, you know what? It might be in our emails. Hang on, let's see.
That's what I'm looking.
Okay, meanwhile, can we move and then come back?
What do you want to go to next?
I don't know what's.
I think all we have left is Gigi's cooking program, and then the other, did you say there was something else that you guys added to the new business? Or did I already go through that? When you came in, I didn't have a pen, so you said there was something else we added besides.
Hope for autism.
Oh.
7C, yes.
7C.
Okay. Let's put a pause on the movies while we search that information. We'll just move forward on to the next one.
Right.
Never mind.
$6.99
It was June 8th.
and we spent for 60 tickets, $419.40. We didn't charge tax.
So it's just $400? Did we buy anybody popcorns?
Just the tickets.
How much was the total?
$419.40.
So what if we put a budget together of 6 or 7, since 7's our max? And let's talk to them about doing it again and see if we can also include some bags of popcorn.
It'd be a great deal. But, sorry, am I not allowed?
You can yell all you want, I don't care.
It's like $1,000 to have a birthday party, not even a table, it's just to have a private screening for a party, a kid's party is $1,000.
And they gave us the biggest theater.
That's great, yeah,
So they gave us the figures, which is 100 what?
100 people, yeah.
that was a great event.
I mean, last time we had discussed about the popcorn and like my only issue was with providing popcorn is like like the whole allergy thing.
Yeah.
and
AI.
And the.
Cause I remember
liability,
we
you know,
discussed it.
I feel better if each person gets
Yeah.
their own.
They buy their own.
Okay,
their own,
Maybe a voucher.
I was gonna say that, that's what I was looking at was voucher, not actual popcorn, like the voucher, like your option, you can have it if you want it, if you don't want it, don't think.
But then what happens to, let's say we have 50 and only 20 get popcorn, then we're stuck with 30 popcorns.
Well,
You settle-
it would
You
be,
settle the tab,
yeah, that's right.
you would settle.
So basically, we would say, just give us vouchers, and then the total number of vouchers we could add in, and we pay for what that is, up to a certain amount of money. But
Don't we
it's,
have to pay ahead of time?
Sounds great in theory, but from my experience in working with the theater, you know, you kind of have to keep things basic. I could try, I'll find out about it, but I mean, just to get an invoice from them, it's like,
it's a plenty,
It-
okay.
it's a very-
You wanna
You-
just,
you
you wanna
know,
just
but
budget 500 and be done with it?
So
You just budget 500 and,
basic.
I say leave it at the 700. Cause it'll
yeah,
give us.
because I don't know,
to play
I
with.
don't know how,
Oh,
if the tickets have
good
gone
point.
up, I don't know, because he hasn't sent me the invoice.
plus, if we wanna do any promotion on it, we might need some stuff on that, so, okay. Okay, cool, so then I motion to, budget from social and recreation, thank you. Social and recreation, $700 for the movie event in December.
I
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Done. Okay, now all we gotta do now is communicate with them, get it set up, and then start promoting it. So once we know for sure, we'll get you the information we need to build a flyer and start meeting.
We have a day already.
December 14th.
Okay,
My anniversary, I'll be watching that, I don't know.
Do we have a time?
no, because we don't have.
It's
the-
usually, it's probably like the
Like a
10:30,
10,
between 10 and 10:30 AM showing, like the first showing, so
Okay.
there won't be anybody in the theaters.
Gigi's cooking. What do you need from us? More money?
No, so we just wanted to come back to, for the, like you was, the board donates like every year for the whole year program. I think it was 1,200 last time. And it just, we use it for food, like, because the food that we buy is
Yeah.
fresh. Every day that we cook is
Absolutely.
fresh. And then we put the logos of the special need in our apron. So, from the special needs.
I don't think anyone here is going to say no to it. We've been funded it now for 3 years. It's been a great program. It was even in our gala video, which was
Yeah.
really cool seeing them make the bacon. That was awesome.
Yeah, we started with, 6, 7 kids, and now they're, 14.
You sure you
Wow.
need the same amount of money? You sure you don't need any more?
We do need, but, I don't know how much the board really can help. So, but, just,
Okay.
so it depends on that.
You said. We don't pay an invoice.
No, we donate it. It's a donation.
Mm.
It's one of the ones that we put in the proposal that we gave to them.
Yes. Maybe I just don't remember.
Let me see.
Oh, can we change the amount? Cause we put it on the proposal for a certain amount. I don't know how that works.
I don't know. We'd have to probably look into that. We could probably approve the original one, and then
It'll be
do a second one
like your
if we'd
email,
like to.
but not at my rates.
Let me see. Where did we save that document? Oh, where did I save that
The
document?
committee report?
Yeah,
Yeah, we have to see if there's a specific amount assigned to it on the committee report. If not, we can
I'm looking in the wrong folder. Where's my folder with all the snap stuff? What do you mean it's gone?
Is there a meeting after us?
use 2024, here we go. These are more broke down ones. Here it is. For the cooking program, we budgeted $2,000. So we always give them, because part of this, it was two
That's what
thousand.
I thought. That's what I thought, 400 something. But that's for the whole year.
That's for the whole year, which is what she's asking for. Because it's 500 for the walk, 1,000 for the gala, and 2,000 for the cooking. So all we need to do is just vote to continue. Right?
I mean, it was already allocated. so
If it
do we
was,
even-
I mean, you can motion, but
Yeah, let's just motion just in case, so they don't come back
Yeah.
and say there are more.
All right, I motion to continue the $2,000 grant donation. That's part of our quarter report to Gigi's Playhouse for the cooking program.
The line item is.
That's programs.
No.
It's programs. isn't it?
Is the donation one.
Oh, that's right, because we're not running the
no,
program.
wait, are you saying like here is money? Or are you paying for something?
Here's money.
Okay, that's grants and aids.
There you go.
Grants and
Yeah.
aids.
Grants.
But I,
This was one that they already approved. It was in the
no,
report.
that's fine. I don't remember.
Ever giving it to them?
I don't remember doing that.
No, we haven't gotten,
Not even last, but we did that last year.
yes,
You got last year,
yes.
but for 2024, you haven't gotten.
No, because I can check for that, but. Not sure.
You're not asking for next year. You're asking for the check that we haven't given you yet.
I can double check. I don't wanna say something that I don't know, so I can double check.
Did you ever
Uh-huh.
send an invoice for this year?
But this year, no.
Then you.
Mhm.
then
That-
Yeah,
you're
no,
not gonna
for
get
sure,
it.
we haven't done it, but
Uh-huh.
for 2023. It's, obviously, it's been a while,
Uh-huh.
but if it's an invoice,
How do they do that for a grant? For if we're donating money to them, do they send you an invoice?
so for. It depends. So, like, for example, the Veterans Committee, they give out scholarships. That we just get a check request form, we get the minutes that say we're donating, the committee's donating to X amount of scholarship recipients and X amount of money. And that's how we process it, and that's grants and aids. But once there's an invoice involved. It's usually for a good or a service.
So then I would think.
What is it under in the report?
It's under,
It's under grants.
It should be on the
But
grant
that
page.
was something
Yes,
that
yes.
I did speak to the
we,
finance director about.
and we've talked about this, right? This was we were all confused because our budget's always been kind of wonky and now we understand it. So then we need to request to get that check so we can give it to her. Just like they
Yes.
did. So this is our scholarship to their program.
So how do we do the check request?
Yeah, that's what we need. to check
You
first.
motion right
Okay.
now
Okay.
to donate this amount of money and then that'll go through.
I motion we donate $2,000 to Gigi's cooking class. Out of
From
grants
the
today.
grants and aids line item,
I
second.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. So now we just get the request from you and we fill it out and send it out. Can you just send it to me via email? I can finish it from there, right?
No, that's it. That's all, that's
Oh, it's all
just,
done.
it's staff now.
There. Now you don't have to worry about it. So that's how we need to do all of our grants then going forward. We do grants for, everything we do for you is grant. Everything we do for Hope for Autism is grant. So we're gonna need to give the number and get a check to give to them. Because that's how it's supposed to be done.
No, what we do for Hope for Autism is sponsor the food.
And which is used to be grants and aids because that was the understanding that we all had, but that's not the
So
case.
you've moved
No.
that from, now where does it go to now?
Social and recreation.
Okay, because we're gonna have a Hope for Autism kind of thing coming up here, so. What is, we finished Gigi's Hope for Autism, what was it?
So Hope for Autism, they have 3 annual events, the fashion show,
Holiday.
the holiday party, and the talent show. So they're adding a new event, which hopefully will turn into a yearly event, which is like Comic-Con type of thing.
Yes, I saw
What is that called?
anime convention.
Right.
Or
Cosplay.
cosplay.
Yes,
Cosplay.
that's it. Sorry, I'm not
You would think you would have said that
too,
first.
I know.
Well, it's
I'm
convention.
familiar with that, so, yeah, since there's so many of the members are into the whole dressing up and all that animation world and all of that, so they're gonna do an event at the Roberto Alonso Community Center, like they always do. And I wanted to make a motion for us to sponsor the food that we usually do for their events,
Okay, number,
which is $1,000.
we always give them 1,000 for their programs. Could we easily just, I think we can do that right now because we've have a program that we would normally give it to them. We just bump, let's say we're gonna bump. What's the one that's coming up is a talent show and then after that's a fashion show. Fashion show will be next year, so we can bump fashion show for this time.
Right.
Give them the 1,000 that would have gone to fashion to Comic-Con, and then when we come back in February and go meet with Town Hall, we'll add an additional 1,000 to
Got it.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Well, anyways, the Comic-Con one is not happening until next year.
Oh, okay, so we've got
So,
time.
yeah,
But on
yeah.
the next.
Okay.
I just
good.
wanted
I thought it was.
to make sure, yeah, that everybody.
All right, so we're adding another 1,000 donation to them for this program. So,
Right.
go ahead, you made the motion, so I'll second it.
Give me a second. So Vivian made a motion for
I think
$1,000 to
We might have
sponsor.
to open up public comments, because she has.
I just have a suggestion for, well, that event is next year, so you have plenty of time. If you want to request a couple $100 more, you could donate the food and you could also donate rental of a few old-fashioned arcade machines, because Flynn's Arcade, he rents them out, and I've rented them for corporate events before, and he comes in with a truck and he brings in these really cool, like, and it's not just that one machine where you see it just has that one game, no, he
Yeah.
has them all fixed, so they have like 2,000 games in that one machine, and we've had it, like, we've rented it where we've rented like 5 or 6, I can't remember how many, and I mean, because it's for charity, he might give you an even better price. I was like, hey, my bosses are paying for it, so charge me what you would charge me. And it was $600, but I remember I got like 5 or 6 machines for the night. You know, maybe for just, if you would add another $400 to that budget, you might be able to also donate that, and it's also supporting a small business, so.
I think we could actually do that separately. Cause that would be different. That would be us providing a service. So if we did the 1,000 for the food, which is a donation, we could then go to Eddie and see if Eddie wants to, what he wants to do total wise for that. Then we can negotiate with Marinella, because we need to make sure she's okay with it. And then when we get that, we would then do a separate one.
Okay.
But that's a really good idea.
Cause that's Comic-Con, that's the Comic-Con
Right.
clientele.
And we certainly know Eddie very well, don't we?
Yes.
So, okay, that sounds good. So let's go ahead with your original one. We'll do the 1,000
Okay.
in food donations, and I'll reach out to Eddie and see if we can get a quote.
Yeah. that's way
Because he's the king.
Was that a motion? Cause that was kind of out of order.
No, that was her suggestion. She's the one who made the motion.
No, but I'm saying,
Yeah, the motion to sponsor the.
You're saying
what is it
sponsor
called?
food or
Okay,
provide the
Sponsor
food?
food, yeah,
Did you
yeah,
sponsor?
yeah, provide the food.
Hope for Autism Comic.
$1,000.
I think that's
Yeah.
what
If
it's
you're
called.
providing the food, then it's social and recreation.
Right.
Not just comparison.
Okay, and so this is only to include the fashion show and holiday party, because we're leaving the talent show and. the
No, those have already been approved. This is an additional one.
Right,
that's
so
there.
do you want
We're
me to
adding a new
mention, do
one.
you want me to add the 2 other events?
So there's
Does
only
the-
one event we're adding.
So this 1,000 is for that one
the
event.
cost
Yeah.
thing.
That's it.
The cost.
How do you say cost?
Cost,
Sorry, my
Right.
head is like cold.
So you made the motion in a second?
I did.
Done.
All those in favor?
I,
Motion passes. And I will reach out to Eddie, get a number on the arcade machines and see what we can do for that. Can you reach out to Marinella and let her know that we have this and see if she wants that, so that I can know?
Yes.
Okay. Check mark, that's done. That means we are at announcements. Any announcements? Seeing none, I say we go to an adjournment. It is 7:16 and I vote to,
Wait, I have it. Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were adjourning already.
hold on,
Joseph texted back.
Okay.
Go back, text.
I'm over here. Well, let's open public comments.
Second.
All those in favor?
Uh,
Motion.
It's really small, but.
That's all, it's amazing. $168 folks.
And we just opened up a little store, where Specialty Smiles is on the first floor. So right now, we're not getting much traffic because we're still waiting on the business tax receipt so that I could finally have a grand opening and tell people that we exist and please, before the holidays, come shop small with us. But, I do have a ton of M Lakes shirts still from like two
The
gallons
original
ago. The
The
original.
blue ones?
The Moulins,
The
yeah, and
MTV version?
the MTV version, the M Lakes. So I would love, I mean, my idea is to like, if I could have that, the only people that buy it are Miami Lakers and nobody buys it online, so it would be at a market, and now instead of markets, I have a store. So my idea is to, do something, do more fundraising events, not just wait on the gala each year to, hey, here are my M Lake shirts and here,
Can she bring him to the car event?
I'm gonna be out of town this coming weekend. If not, I would be there. I'm gonna be at the movie theater event, but that's not the place for the shirts. But if we do the safety event in January, definitely. But I would love to do something going forward where, all the, right now I have it where all the proceeds of the M Lake shirts goes to you guys, but I'm not selling it. Like, no one is buying it throughout the year on the website. So it's only when I'm showing it in person where people are like, hey, that's really cool, or hey, I wanna support, that they buy it. So,
Where's the store at?
where the new Specialty Smiles, building is on 155th, right by, like Bob Graham Educational Center and the Winn-Dixie on that. little, like,
Okay.
Road 155th,
Okay.
so
Like, I'm
definitely Miami Lakes, still waiting on the business tax.
It's so
receipt.
cute. I've been to the shop, it is
Yeah, I had a little pop-up on 2 Saturdays ago and Vivian was the only person there. And so I'm still, I'm not that popular yet, so.
But you're
I like
involved
that,
in
yeah.
Social media.
Yet. I have a good following, but why am I going out of town this weekend? Because all my following is in Texas.
Oh,
So there are a lot of Latinos, mostly Mexican, in Texas, and they all love chisme, and my brand specializes in all things like chisme, cute, Latina stuff.
yep.
And
Yep.
I hate to say it, but I'm bigger in Texas than I am in other places. And they shop local over there, or they shop small over there.
I
Bigger in Texas, they said.
Yes, wait, but I go there with all my stuff and I sell out every show that I do over there. Austin, Houston, Dallas, and here I do the Miami Lakes Farmers Market, y nada, oh, that's so cute, and then they don't buy, I'm like, okay, para qué, why do I do this?
There you go.
So now I have a shop, I don't have to be in the key with this and that, and
Is that the 3-minute timer?
sorry, I'm done. I would love to give more in the future.
Thank you.
I wanted to say welcome Isabella.
Hold on, I haven't closed public comments.
You were already adjourning the meeting though.
Well, I'm gonna close it now.
Oh, got
It's
it.
a public comment
I
to
would like to
Well,
close
yes, it's
public
a-
comments.
announcements.
Okay,
We're
thank
still
you.
announcing.
All those in favor?
Hi,
Back to announcements.
Forget we have to close the door.
Welcome to.
welcome
Isabella.
Isabella. Thank you.
Now, are you staying with us permanently?
Forever, forever and ever.
She doesn't know, I mean, right now she's here, she's hired.
We
She's-
are a very scary group. We get loud, we have parties. It's not like the other
Obviously.
things.
We're not.
They are very and they
I
are
will
very
not-
passionate.
I'm gonna think you sit here for as long as you.
No, we can talk about that.
All right, I would like to call the adjournment at 7:20 p.m.
Oh,
She's already telling me to adjourn.
oh, yeah,
I
I'm
wanted to
announcing.
say something. I wanted to, welcome Isabella.
Oh, I
But
got
I
it.
wanted to say, and I'm gonna try not to cry. but-
No, no empieces, no empieces, no empieces. See what he, now she's gonna cry.
Gabby, it's been a pleasure working with you.
She's not going anywhere. She's
I know,
upstairs.
she's around.
She's right around the corner.
Number.
You have, no, we don't have her number. You have her number? She's never given me her number. She won't.
What's
do-
your extension? 1140? No.
11:46.
Oh.
There you go. now you
Is
have
that a
her
number?
I wanted to wish you the best and don't forget about us.
I won't.
Will we see
Don't
you
worry.
Saturday?
Thank you.
I will not be here on Saturday.
We see you on Saturday.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be there.
No, thank you, Gabby, for everything.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are like my little family. So
Coyote.
my first
Coyote.
family.
No, you're
Because mental health is my second family. So, yeah, you guys
Your
have
only
been
family.
amazing. Yeah,
Talk
It's-
about family.
it's been amazing. And you guys have a very bright future ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now can I end the meeting?
Yeah.
I'd like to call this meeting and end at 7:22 PM.
Second.
All those in favor?